Let the half-hoods be your sole concern.
Yeah, since this scene, and I got really excited, we've not seen him again. That was like 4 episodes ago. That's crazy. And I guess they were saving that for the finale, but...
Your friend or your destiny. The choice is yours.
Yeah, it feels almost like this should be the mid-season finale. Oh god, yeah, I forgot about these guys too. And what's going on with this? Yeah, look, clearly they've got the long game in mind, right? They're going to be telling this story over several seasons. We're going to go into season 3 there, starting threads to move on into season 3 with. And you know, look, I can see some of the stuff with Isildur, and like I say, the Wildman, which is a really promising story, and this idea of the Númenorians and, you know, this disparity in resourcing wealth and the effect that has on humans, right? Really interesting. I can see the seeds of that. Miriel, I'm intrigued now. This is very intriguing. I hope that whatever this is something that, you know, bears really interesting fruit. I feel like there's potential for that.
Fighting your side.
I felt it too.
You have already.
Do you know what? It is a sign of their success that I see old Halbrand with his old hair and his old look, and it feels weird. They very much pulled off the blonde hair and the, yeah, Anatar. Yeah, I feel like you're a bit of an idiot as well, mate. You should have left back like a few men or something. Like, I don't, like 20 men.
It's the ring. It has him.
And then gone with the rest of the army.
What are you gonna do?
Chop it off, mate.
Do not follow me down that lane.
Enough is enough, mate. You gotta sort this, yeah. Oh, we're getting some fingers chopped off, right? Yeah.
Take it off! Or I'll take off the whole hand!
Yeah, I mean, there's power in the ring, mate. You gotta be careful here.
You're strong enough to wield an axe, but are you strong enough to use it against your father?
You've gotta be.
No, father.
Oh, come on.
Take it off. I beg you.
A dwarf should never beg.
Dude. Not being funny, mate. Seal it back up. Let him go. Is it just Mithril? Damn. I mean, spank my bottom and call me a dwarf, but like, I like the look of that, I'll be honest with you. Mithril's so strong, isn't it? I'm like the temptation, dude. Like, forget rings of power, just make a bunch of armor, you're invincible, aren't you?
To see our mountain the way I do.
It's not our mountain, father.
With these rings, it could be.
Damn, it really corrupted him so quick. Oh, God. Oh, no. Mate, the Balrog is this close. Uh-oh. Oh, ho, ho. Mate. Damn, that looks good. Dude. Yeah. Really? Hey, he took it off.
Forgive me, my son, King Durin.
Yeah, we go. Yeah. What an image to come down to, huh? Hey, dude, that's the way to go out, though. Yeah. Yeah, you make it a good one, dude. That is your last swing. Oh, dear. Yeah, so that's one ring lost, I guess, right? Oh, that's the intro, Jesus. Okay, that is a finale. Please tell me the Rhûn stuff. Man, honestly, I've been hankering for it all season. All season. Oh, did you go find the hobbits? So you chose then, huh? So, wait, hang on. Have we just skipped?
Manwë promised you would come.
Man, okay.
My faith in you, old friend. 5 of us there were.
Okay.
But you were the one who convinced me to leave the uttermost west for this world.
Oh, he's Saruman, isn't he?
Told you wish to ally yourself with Sauron.
You journeyed to Rhûn, seeking answers.
Sorry, why are we here? This seems... Sorry, again, this seems to have happened so fast. Like, we were just... Do you know what I mean? The last we left him, he was going down into a forest to find his staff. And it was this question, is he going to do that, or is he going to go after Nori and the hobbits? And it's like, okay, I feel like we're at the hobbits' place. I was like, oh, okay, he chose, fine. I guess we're just going to skip, you know, that dilemma and that question and how he arrived at it and why and what for and whatever, you know, fine, whatever. And now I guess Saruman, the Dark Wizard, let's say for now. I feel like he's trying to seduce him a little bit, right? Come with me, you know, all this stuff. Sorry, but all of that, very quick, and it feels like we've skipped something a little bit.
The small ones are safe.
That's a knife to their throat, mate.
But you have given us all that we were promised.
Forgive me, old friend.
Mm-hmm.
These nomads might help me find you.
Okay, you're tricking us, Trixie.
My people were once kings, wizard.
Really? I'd love to see more of that. I feel like we've come to Rhûn and we haven't really found out. Okay. We haven't really found a lot out about the natives, have we? We're not really dug into this.
Dark wizard.
That is a name I do not embrace. Placed upon me by men.
Okay.
Pity will not defeat Sauron.
Or would you seek to become his successor?
I feel I can't escape the feeling that we skipped a bit to get here. Am I crazy? Like we're just suddenly... I knew we were getting here, but there was like no preamble. There was no leading up. We were just... Boom. We're doing it.
And in time, we will both be his successors.
Okay. Is this a dream? It's not, is it?
I would sooner walk this desert forevermore, nameless and forgotten.
I did say that if you turned out to be Saruman, I wouldn't like it, and I feel like this is all but confirming that it is. And I haven't seen enough to convince me that it will be a good idea. Like, I appreciate he was like, oh, the Dark Wizard was a name people gave me. Okay, but there's a reason they gave you the name. We've just seen you do this.
Miriel was able to bewitch the sea. She has an ally of cunning powers.
Huh?
And is now gathering strength to make us bleed.
Oh, Sauron.
The Valar who uphold her.
Yeah, there's no takesies backsies, mate. She passed the test.
Sauron.
All so-called faithful are now declared traitors of Westerness.
Guys. What? Sorry, I do feel like for the last couple episodes I've been very negative, but I don't like this. This all just suddenly seemed to happen. Who sent this letter? Why did they believe it so hard? I get that they're looking for ways to cast out Miriel and those who support her, but they're going from step to step to step and they're not really connecting the dots enough for me. Again?
Are there any faithful in there?
No, move along.
Said with the most suspicious face. Yeah, I feel like it's unraveling a little bit at the end, you know. And I feel like it is falling prey to what I think I identified and was identifying earlier in the season of they were just running out of time. They don't have the time, I feel like, to tell the stories that they want to. Because there's not, again, I still maintain there's not necessarily anything wrong with what they're doing, but they're delivering it in such a way that it's not really hitting. And it's leaving me kind of with a bit of whiplash, like it's all happening so quick. It's like they've drafted it all out on a board and they're like, right, this is going to happen, this, and we get here, there, here. But they've not really, for me, again, you know, this is all subjective, right? And for what isn't working for me might work for you, and that's absolutely fine. But they're not doing a good enough job of connecting the dots, or if they do connect the dots, it's like sometimes you do need to let moments breathe. You know what I'm talking about? I think the Durin and Durin storyline, which... good storyline. Like, I'm looking at the storyline and where it went and how it finished. We'll maybe go there, you know, later in this episode, but that they could well end it there, and I think that would be fine for this season. But that storyline is a good one. It's a good concept. King Durin fall into the power of the ring. We came into this season with their relationship splintered. They come back together, find some common ground, and then it splinters even worse. And actually the reason for that is the son Durin. There's some guilt there on his part. That storyline, it has all the ingredients for a great storyline, a great tragedy, and, you know, great painful moments that make you feel, but it all happened so quick and we didn't really see King Durin. Like, we did, but it was in the space of like an episode or two. His fall, his greed, it consuming him. This stuff, the Númenorian stuff too, the Rhûn stuff, where we just got to with, I guess, Saruman, if we're going to go with that, the Dark Wizard. It feels like they cut a scene out of that, you know, between that scene and the one we'd seen previously with Gandalf. So it's like these stories aren't bad. The concept of the stories is good. And they have proven to me that they can write well. Like, there are some really well-written storylines, some really well-written relationships and scenes. And the thing that it clearly is to me, as to the thing that's bringing it all down a little bit, is the pacing, the format. There's not enough time. And in the first 4 episodes, the Númenorian plotline could have been filled out a little bit better to lead up to what we were getting towards. But that's really, for me, the only occasion where what we actually got in the show could have been reworked to be better. Every other storyline, it's just pacing. There's not enough time to actually do it properly.
It is called Narsil.
Oh, hello. The blade. This is a really well shot scene. Yeah, I love how we followed the elf, we came down, the orcs are coming through. You know, a bit of a one shot there. Oh god, come on.
Set them free, and I will go willingly.
You need to stop getting captured, dude. Oh god. Kelly. Right, that's what we're doing. That is rough.
Look, what you have done to yourself.
Dude. You're such a gaslighter, stop it.
Tell me where you have hidden the rings.
Dude, see, like, I'm sorry, I've just realised Galadriel gave herself in with the 9 and he's gone through all of this for nothing. Galadriel. Hang on, Galadriel and Sauron have not met since, like this season. That's crazy. Hey, finale. If you're going to do it anywhere, this is the time.
But the rings are beyond your reach.
Oh, if only.
For soon I shall go to the shores of the morning, borne hence by a wind that you can never follow.
Don't test him, dude. He's a sorcerer. You know, I wouldn't put it past him, like, trapping his spirit or something.
There are ways of keeping you alive.
All that.
Your words are empty.
Hear me!
These two have put in some great performances this season.
The rings of power shall destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
One alone shall prove your utter ruin!
Ouch.
I am their master. You are their prisoner.
Yeah.
Lord of the rings.
Okay. Sorry. He smashed this performance, to be fair to him. He had a very minimal role in season 1, but season 2, bang. Well done, mate. And yeah, Charlie as well. Like, this has been the highlight of the season. As much as I was talking about, like, I feel like I wish they'd done a little bit of the, what an image. Damn. I wish they'd done a little bit more for the bond, the kinship. But even without that,
Sauron.
this story's been really strong.
I have many names.
Alright. You can't just say yes. 'Tis an option.
What is yours, Uruk?
No. That easily seduced, buddy. Damn. Oh, hello.
This one's already stabbed me once. I'd wager the damage is done.
Well, you've not had great luck, have you, mate? Can we take that into account?
How do you live with it?
The dagger, just in the bag, mate.
Had a good healer stitch me up.
The mum, I get it. I'm sorry.
About your
Yep.
mum.
Yep.
Carried it poorly. I didn't realise that until I came here.
Why?
Seems there's grander things here than I thought.
Mm.
Sure you won't come with me?
Like it better being a low man.
Yeah, it feels like we could have got this scene in the episode that we left them with last time, and it feels like the only reason we're getting this scene is because it's the finale.
When he laid the cornerstone, he asked the gods to keep our love strong as long as the home stood.
Did you kick the brick over?
I always thought his kindness was what love felt like, but when he said it, I felt ill.
God. Threw up immediately. Just violently ill. And he's like, what's going on? Sure. Hey, there was chemistry. I get it. Again, we left this story episodes ago. Weird pacing. That's all I'm saying.
Come with me to Númenor.
I apologise. I keep repeating it.
The men of Pelargir. Salutations.
Oh, God.
We'll build the watchtower in sight of the river, fill a few houses if we need to.
It's a disgrace the state this place is in.
This guy needs to die, but like really hard, like not quick.
Isildur.
Mm-hmm.
I never gave up hope. There wouldn't be, if not for Beric.
Oh, there he is, hero of the hour. Love him.
Trust there's room on the ship.
No passage for low men.
Hey.
My father, post-captain to Queen Regent Miriel.
Oh, mate, you've missed a lot.
I saved your life. You missed
Shall I have them slaughter the horse?
Hey, right. Oh my God, this guy's got to die. Ah, that was the last straw for me. Admittedly, I was already there, that's true.
Disrespect me again.
Why are you here again?
No timber, no supplies. But I'm certain that won't be a problem for you. After all, they're only trees.
Well, about that. Yeah, okay, we're setting up next season this low man versus Númenorian. Isildur, I guess, taking the side of, the Wildman.
Leave us.
End this slaughter, and I will do as you asked.
What's going on, Adar?
How do you expect to destroy Sauron without your ring?
Trade you, mate. Really? Okay.
Even wounds that have endured an age can sometimes yet be healed.
Oh, really? You're... Damn.
When last I looked like this, I was known by another name.
Celeborn. Don't say Celeborn.
A meaningless
Sorry.
Adar is the name I earned. Help me earn it back.
Wow. He is so interesting.
I will recall my children to Mordor.
Oh, it comes back. Okay.
I have slain more of your children than any elf alive.
Absenin.
He's beautiful, isn't he? I do also want to say here, and it will tie into a point I make in a little bit, that Adar has been a really poor leader this season. I'd go so far as to say as well that his forgiveness for Galadriel here isn't for him to give. He's speaking on behalf of a people that he's used for his own goals. Yes, we know that this agenda has been for, to his mind, a greater good, to combat this threat of Sauron that means they can never find peace. Still, he very much played the role of dictator. His fellow Uruks displayed reluctance at waging this war, and due to Adar's single-mindedness, many more of them died. In the short term, he went against his people's wishes, and I can understand, watching this back, how this leads to the event in a moment. He very much embraced the ego of the elves in his role as the Uruks' father, because this season we saw how he believes himself to be right, even above the opinions and desires of those he claims he cares for. Again, we as the audience know his fear for Sauron is justified, and there's an argument to be made that he displays foresight in his fight to vanquish Sauron now. At the same time, I think the way he went about things this season was not the way to go, and I think we saw more of the elf come through than we'd previously have given credit. By this I mean what we have seen from the likes of Gil-galad and Celebrimbor, this trait they have of believing that they and they alone possess the knowledge to know what is right and how Middle-earth can be saved, above the likes of orcs or men or dwarves. It's this ego that can lead to folly as much as under other circumstances it might lead to success. I do like this subtle theme, this ego of the elves. It shows us here how far they have to go to what we see in the Third Age, in that the elves have learned their time is done and they must leave. We're seeing firsthand here by most of the elves in the show, Adar included, how their heritage leads them to think they know better, and more often this leading to destruction or results adverse to their original goal. We're seeing here why they made the decision to leave. It was a shedding of that ego and a realization the elves needed to come to for the ultimate safety of Middle-earth and its denizens.
Let this ring heal the rift between Elf and Uruk.
Oh, he's dying, man. So hard.
He tried to make Luke betray you, but he resisted.
Oh, man. Is Galadriel gonna heal him? I wonder. No! Oh, man. Come on. For real. We just had this revelation. Guys. What? All of them? Oh, it's very symmetrical. Okay, yeah, very reminiscent of how he went out at the beginning of the season, innit?
Galadriel.
Hello, hi. I'm a little annoyed. We've barely got any of Adar this season, and we finally get like this beautiful moment. We find some middle ground, and it's like, yeah, help me earn that name again. It's like, brilliant, let's do that. Awesome, let's dive into this interesting character. Never mind, let's stab him to death. And there is something beautiful about the revenge that Sauron is getting on him, in the same way that, he got taken out, like I say. Was it worth it? Was the timing, it all comes down to timing, doesn't it, really, this season? I think their timings have been off. I'm not saying they shouldn't have done that eventually, but not now. God damn it, man. What a waste of his character.
They are not children anymore.
Damn. That's painful. That's horrible.
What orders, Lord Sauron?
And how's he enslaved them?
Leave no elf alive.
Like, are we going with, I guess, he's sculpting their thoughts? I've become the very thing I swore to destroy. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a hater, I guess. But no, that's his enslavement of the orcs seems a little bit too quick and easy and just convenient as well. Doesn't really feel super earned, and it happened off screen. I appreciate they did it because they're trying to surprise you, obviously, with the Adar kill, but it was done off screen. That's a kind of huge thing, and I think like a big focus of this series has been this new spin on the orcs, right? And this, to my mind, nice addition to the lore, which adds more tragedy to it, and the way that they have shown that transition of that image of the orcs, which is very interesting, very intriguing, to the orcs we know, that transition, which we knew we were going to get, and you're kind of looking forward to, done off screen. Like, I don't love that. Hello, okay, hang on, sorry, impromptu interjection. I would have just done my ordinary text screen and voiceover, but honestly, I've written out quite a lot, and I couldn't be bothered to do that, so I'm just going to do this instead. So sorry for the disheveled appearance. I did not expect to be on camera today. I have used this opportunity to try and have a look at testing a new lighting thing, so yeah, forgive me for this. Looks very different to the video you're watching. I apologize. But let me read what I have here. So obviously after watching the episode again, when I'm editing and stuff, typically, you know, I can spot things that I don't, or I'm in a different mood, and you know, I've also seen it before, so I'm not kind of necessarily emotionally as invested as I would be the first time watching. So yeah, that basically happened again, I think, with this moment. I was watching the moment when the orcs come in and find Sauron for the first time, and actually watching that scene back again informed, I think, watching what we've just seen again. So yeah, let me read out what I have here. Blah 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 blah. I've revised my thoughts here a little bit. Upon finding Sauron, the Uruk that we know, I think it's Glug, right, as the one that lost faith in Adar, caught Sauron crying, displaying vulnerability over the corpse of an elf he had just killed. Not to mention the reply Sauron greets him with affords respect, and that he called the orc Uruk. That was like one of the first things that he said to him. This does a few things very quickly. Catching Sauron like this is the perfect nail in the coffin that is bound to turn this faction of orcs against Adar. It shows them Sauron's alignment. It's an elf he's just killed, which I think paints a very specific image. The tears on Sauron's face show him not to be the cold, heartless figure Adar has made him out to be, which also paints Adar as a liar, even more so, because I think so far, and these orcs that have kind of gone against Adar and feeling it against Adar probably do see him as a liar, right? This image that they have of him right now at this point in the show, compared with season 1 and what I think they saw him as then, as this loving father who only had their best interests at heart, it makes that Adar seem like a liar considering his actions now. And I think this moment as they catch Sauron solidifies that image much more than it already had been. As well as these tears signifying what? I mean, you know, like the orcs come in, they see Sauron or who they think is Sauron, and he's crying. What does that mean, right? I think their brains at this point, not to mention, I think Sauron had that line about in the heat of battle, orcs have this bloodlust and they're not perhaps thinking clearly either. They come in, this guy here, you don't know anything about him. All you have about him is what you've been told secondhand by this person who you are losing trust with. And he's crying. What are these tears for? And I think in the kind of, like I say, this battle haze that perhaps they are in, you know, I think their brain is absolutely going to put all these things together in a very specific way just because of how it's been arranged, right? With careful consideration, you could spitball more than one option, but in the heat of battle and the easiest leap, considering what the orcs had in front of them, Sauron is upset at having to kill. It's what immediately I think that those tears seem as if they're there for, which is also not untrue, right? Sauron doesn't like it. He doesn't like that he has killed this person. That's what those tears kind of immediately simplistically symbolize. All of this alongside the fact that the crux of the issue is that Adar is coming across as insincere in his reluctance to wield his children on the battlefield. It gives the impression he, 1, doesn't care for the orcs like he says he does, and 2, that actually there is some bloodlust beneath it all. In Adar's motivation for this, right? And why are you putting us in this war, in this battle? Why are you sending us out? Because I think from Adar's perspective, and we understand that he has this very valid fear of Sauron, this really powerful figure. The orcs don't understand that though. They don't have that, right? Even us as the audience, we know Sauron. I think typically people know who he is, what he's capable of. And even if you don't, I think the show has very much painted him as this treacherous figure, this all-powerful, mind-bending sorcerer, right? Very dangerous. Everyone knows, apart from the orcs, they have no other information other than what Adar has said. So it's like from their perspective, he probably does come across as very bloodthirsty, or there's some bloodlust under there, some hatred of the orcs, some personal stuff maybe even going on. Whereas this image immediately of Sauron crying about this elf, you know, he doesn't like to kill, this image that they have before them paints the opposite image. You know, these mirror images of Adar and Sauron actually comes across as this very empathetic being because of that, this lack of bloodlust in him, arrayed against, you know, this very bloodlusty kind of Adar that I think they've got this season. All of these things add up to this split-second verdict made by an already wavering Uruk and presumably his cohorts of like mind that all at once turn them against Adar. With all of this taken into account, I can absolutely understand how these orcs turn against Adar in the way they do. What I still do, by the way, find hard to believe is Glug's first line solidifying their service to Sauron. He says, "What orders?" The Uruks have exchanged one master for another rather than breaking away and gaining their autonomy. So yeah, it's this thing of like, you know, watching the episode back again, I do buy the switch in masters. I do buy that, and I think actually it is very subtle in how it achieves that and makes it convincing. And I think on the first watch I just didn't really, because I didn't know what was going to happen, so I wasn't watching for why they would do that. To my mind, I think it was the case of all we've really seen is Glug. I think that's part of the issue in this, is that like we have really only seen what I can assume now was clearly, you know, a rumor or like a feeling, sorry, in many orcs. You know, more of them felt this way. That, you know, by this point in the episode becomes very clear, but I think up until this point, we've only really had Glug actually being shown to be feeling these things and being the representation for that. And I don't think that's enough. I don't think that was enough to really, you know, when this happened, it creates this jarring feeling in at least me, because I don't think they really built up to it very well because of that. So sorry, the switch, I believe, but it's the dropping one master for another so quickly and being so fully on Sauron's side that I still find a little hard to believe. So yeah, so the Uruks have exchanged one master for another rather than breaking away and gaining their autonomy. I think this sort of thing can really work if in season 3 there's some element of the Uruks realizing that. Right now they're flailing around not knowing how to achieve on their own what's best for them, and it brings up an interesting question. Has this element of subservience been so long a part of them they need to work to disentangle from it to be truly free? I really would like to not have this be the end of the Orcs story as much as it might feel like it is. Rather than pulling away from this, I think the writers need to double down and go deeper, or this moment was for nothing. Yeah, so I mean, really all this boils down to is that I'm not trying to like overshadow my first time watch reaction, right? My immediate emotional response, I think that's valid too, and I'm not trying to say like that wasn't genuine or I don't believe in that version of my response to it. I still hold to that reaction and that opinion, but I think watching back, I can see how as they wrote it, they had this idea that worked and was convincing. And I think, like I say, this moment, perhaps a little bit like the end of season 1 and the Anatar Celebrimbor thing, how they kind of didn't perhaps do that in the best way in season 1, but in season 2 have really focused on that, dialed on that, and made that something great. I think in season 3, I want to see them do that for this, because I think they can, and I think they've opened the door for that, and to really dive into that, and the orcs some more. I am still disappointed about Adar. You'll see that in the video coming, but and I do still hold to that too. I don't necessarily disagree that the ending for him was bad. I think the story on paper is kind of beautiful. Like I said, the symmetry of, you know, what we got at the beginning of the season and Sauron, how he went out to this, beautiful, cool. I just think the way that they delivered it, and I think, like I say, too soon, and the way that they delivered it perhaps wasn't as convincing, wasn't as perhaps elegant maybe as they could have made it. Yeah, what you saw in the video was kind of my emotional response, and this is more of a refined response that I think, you know, I've only really got after having watched it again and seeing more. So I think both takes I stand by, and I think, funnily enough, in season 2 especially, I think represents the nuance of, I think, my opinion of this season, because it's not all good, it's not all bad, and even the bad has good elements to it. Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's funny, but anyway, sorry, I've talked so long, but I think this was interesting to talk about, and I think the way that they actually did represent it in the show was interesting, and actually I feel better about it now than I did in the moment. But yeah, anyway, back to the video.
It was your design from the beginning.
You think too much of me.
Yeah, he really worked it out as he went, mate. Okay, make this fight something good, come on.
It is not my wish to harm you.
I believe him.
I wish to heal all Middle-earth.
Can someone please question him on that? Yeah, of course Adar spared him. It's a shame. I am less interested in the show automatically just because Adar's gone. That is a crying shame.
That is the full record of Celebrimbor's works. Take our lives, but leave it be, I beg you.
Really? Yeah, that is a shame though. Alexandria all over again, innit, really? Damn. Okay.
But to find the light,
We must first touch the darkness.
We are not alike. We never were. It was just another of your illusions.
Not all of it.
Yeah. Oh. Ho. Oh. Ho, ho, ho. Damn. He is playing around, eh? Oh, hello.
The door is still open.
The door is shut.
Oh. Damn.
I would have placed a crown upon your head. All Middle-earth had been brought to its knees to worship the light of its queen.
Really? It's just a bit in his boy era, isn't he, really? Hey, finally.
Give me your ring.
He's in her head, eh?
Your ring.
This is a test for her, to see if she can conquer his touch, his strength. Come on.
You wish to hear Middle-earth.
Finally. Yes, let's have a conversation.
Heal yourself.
Did she just attempt to go to therapy? I mean, hey.
If we pursue many Uruks.
Really? God damn it.
The darkness is too powerful. I cannot save her.
But together. And this is his test. Is your distrust of the rings or your friendship to Galadriel more important?
We can.
Yeah. I mean, he's been through a lot. I can understand how in this desperate moment he's drawing on some warmth, some comfort, that comfort being his friendship with Galadriel. In all of this death and war and blood and horrific scenes. I can understand emotionally why he in that moment would want to heal her at all costs.
Some things lost are lost forever.
That's a shame. So sorry, is that legitimately all we're getting from Rhûn and the star?
We've just got to accept it. What's broke is broke and won't fix.
I do like how the season is closing out on everything that has been lost or broken due to conflict, war, and the sadness and loss that can be felt from it. This is a very Tolkienian message to leave us with to round out season 2. It feels appropriate.
And all anybody can do is try and build something new.
I do like that we haven't got the 9 and the men and all that this season, you know. That is something that you can really delve into next season and do properly and not rush, right?
Tried to help him pack, but it's their first migration.
Right, so they're going on a wander now. Because the last significant scene we got with these guys was, nah, we can't leave. We've got too much history here. I get that it's been trashed a little bit, but they can rebuild. Do you know what I mean? It does feel like, am I insane? Did I miss a scene? Like, I am questioning myself a little bit.
It's high time I walked my path and you walked yours.
Respectfully, you have been apart most of this season.
We're very different creatures, Nori, when all's said and done.
Not so different at all, you ask me.
Yeah, I think this conversation has more overarching connotations as to the narrative this season that does work. It's this, we can be different and yet we hold the same hopes and dreams and desires for peace and friendship. This idea that differences don't mean folk have to conflict. It rings true for the Uruk plotline, for example, and rounds the season off well. Again, next to Nori's monologue about war. Unfortunately, isolated as it is as the Rhûn plotline here, this conversation comes across as a little baffling, considering, like I say, that they haven't been particularly together this season anyway. I can see what they were going for with this conversation, but again, it's slightly jarring in the execution. Right, yeah. So this is what I was kind of suspecting. It's a very Gandalf stuff, fair enough. The choice he should make is to always go and save the people. That is what makes him who he is. That was the right choice, so he got his staff, yeah. That makes absolute sense to me. That's what I thought would happen. It just, yeah. Again, do you know what I mean? The concept of the story is good and makes sense, and I like it. It just, the way it's been told.
It was all a test.
Yeah.
I was meant to choose friendship over power.
Yep.
Gandalf. That's what they're going to call me, isn't it?
I mean, I've been doing that for a while, mate, now. Okay.
Rumours fly that you are not your father's preferred heir.
Succession. God damn it.
And your brother seems to be gathering support.
Whomst? Hide him, mate.
Pity. I've never known you to be such peaceable company.
Jeez.
What is this place?
The sanctuary.
This is the founding of Rivendell.
We must decide whether to attack and bring the fight to him.
The sword or the shield?
Mm-hmm.
And remind our people.
How is that guy still alive? God, the gingers, man. Stalwart to the last. Fair play to him, hey. there we go. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think it's a secret necessarily what I thought. Like, look, you know, I think it's so weird. I think the last 4 episodes, they clearly knew what stories they wanted to tell. But I do feel like in the last 4 episodes, they lost a bit of focus. I feel like the first 4 episodes were really strong. They knew where they were going. There were still moments, I think, in the first half of the season. The thing that I'm talking about the pacing and the speed of things, was a bit of an issue in some of the plot lines, but I don't think it was really an issue until the latter half of the season, honestly, to the point that like I'm looking at Galadriel at the end, and actually in the last 4 episodes, and since, you know, those great scenes that we got at the start of the season of her and Elrond and that whole dynamic and the rings of power, the 3 elven rings very much kind of just disappeared into the background really after the 4th episode. They didn't really come back into it because other things took focus. Right, the battle, Eregion. I think the really strong through line of the entire season, and what actually this season built itself on, was Celebrimbor and Anatar. I think that story was really well done, really well written. The biggest disappointment for me, I think, is Rhûn. Only because I think the expectation of that and the intrigue in that was so high, and it just feels like, I don't know, it just feels like it didn't really go anywhere, or the places that I thought it was going to go, it went there, but it just got there in really weird kind of like patchwork ways. It very much feels as if there was some behind the scenes finagling as to, hey, we're telling the story, can we have another episode or 2, can we have more runtime, can we have something, and someone was like, no. I think the Númenorian plotline was horrible this season. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think it was very good. I feel like it was very much, it feels like a conversation where they were like, okay, this is the Númenorian plotline, we've got to show it because we've started it. It would be weird later on, and for other storylines later on too, if we didn't show any of it. We have to show it, but at the same time, that storyline is just ticking boxes. We need to maneuver players into specific places. We need to get Pharazôn as king. We need to get Elendil on his own journey with Narsil. Miriel, not a clue. We'll figure that out next season. Don't worry about it. But like I say, that brings me back around. I think the overall concept of the season, the stories they were telling, were strong. There was nothing wrong with them. I think there was some really good writing in there. I think it's accompanied by some weaker plot lines, weaker writing as well. I don't think that's necessarily due to the skill of the people in the show. I think it does very much feel like they just didn't have the time to tell the story they wanted to tell in the best way that they could, and it means that they prioritized certain storylines over others. So it's like, it's weird. I'm kind of hot and cold on this season. Adar, God, I forgot about Adar. Adar, honestly, like I say, one of the biggest letdowns in the Uruks. Only, again, because I think there were some of the strongest aspects to this adaptation, which means that I feel like the finale, in a lot of respects, does ring a little bit hollow. It doesn't really pack as much of a punch, I think, as it wanted to. And like I say, the elven rings, the 3 elven rings, a big focus for the start of the season that I really enjoyed, dissipated. The hobbits, respectfully, this season, I don't really know why they were here, and it very much felt like they were only here because they were introduced in season 1, and it's like, okay, well, they're here, we've got to do something with them, right? Yeah, a bit of a mixed bag. But hey, I'm always going to be honest about what I think about something and why. If I like something, why? If I don't like something, why? None of this, at least to me, is mindless. It's, you know, it's obviously subjective, right? You can disagree with me, and that's fair. If you did, let me know down in the comments, what did you like? Is there anything that I mentioned that I don't like that you did, and for what reason? Did I miss something? I enjoyed this season. I think it's weaker than the first one, if I'm completely honest. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, if you enjoyed this, please do subscribe down below. I do a bunch of other shows. I do movie commentaries every so often too. I've done Blade Runner and Alien most recently. I do The Good Place, Better Call Saul, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm doing 2. I'm going to be covering Angel when I get to that in the show as well. So if you enjoyed the format of this video and want to see more, go check out my channel. But other than that, there's some links down in the description below. I've got Patreon, YouTube memberships. I've got early access to all my videos. But yeah, thank you to everyone who does support me. Genuinely, just thank you for your support. Feel free to try one of these videos if you want to keep going, but if not, no worries. I hope you have a great week. I'll see you soon.